All right, I'm so excited because first up this morning, one of my favorite musicians of all time, a guy who lives in New York, but he is proud of his Milwaukee roots, and he comes home all the time to see his mom and his grandma.
Oh, so sweet. It's Augie Haas. You might see him playing his trumpet at a Bucks game, at Packers games, or on Broadway. He does the whole gamut. Augie joins us live to chat about how life is in the Big Apple. Hey, Augie.
What up, Augie?
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
So good to see your face. It's so great to see you. We got to know, like, what's it like in New York? How you been doing?
It's good. It's a little crazy, but you know, everything's cool in the 4 small walls that I live in my tiny little apartment, which we've been spending a lot of time in because it's kind of crazy here with the whole COVID-19.
You know, being all locked up and everything, is your wife still with you? Has she been hanging in there?
We have a closing door, so you know it makes all the difference in the world.
That helps. What about going to the grocery store? I know what it's like for us here in Milwaukee, but what's it like in New York?
It's pretty crazy. So there are several grocery stores around us. We have a Whole Foods, we have a Trader Joe's, and then a lot of little markets. And I think I waited like an hour and a half to get into Whole Foods the other day, just because they're only letting so many people in at a time, things like that. And you have to stay 6 feet away from each other in the lines. So, but people are pretty respectful as far as those rules and guidelines go.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that people are being smart and being safe. Is there anybody that you know who has coronavirus?
Yeah, a lot of people actually. I mean, it's just I talked to my buddy yesterday on the phone. He said him and his wife had it, like very mild cases. I've seen some friends post. I've seen some friends be posted about that, weren't doing so well or doing better. But yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, especially in New York, I would think you would know more people who've had it. When your last performance was March 11th, is that right?
Yeah.
Did you have a sense then what was going on? Were you aware that pretty soon there'd be a shutdown?
I mean, everyone thought like, oh man, maybe there's going to be like a 2-week break or something would happen. But, it's just, it was originally Broadway said, oh, we're going to shut down until April 12th. Now we're going to shut down until June. And, I just don't think that, especially in New York, because we're so crammed together, I don't think people really predicted it going so horribly as it's gone.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And I know everyone, I feel like around all the states, prayers are going out to everyone there and everybody, that we know as well. Let's talk about some fun stuff, though. You're confined in these 4 walls, you and your wife. Who's doing the cooking? And if so, what's being cooked?
I'm doing most of the cooking, I'd say.
Augie.
Yeah, I like to cook. It's more like, what have we been drinking? It's I joked with her. I joked with her. I said I should have a cocktail this morning. I'm home. I'm doing the things. I'm on the morning blend this morning. I was, maybe a little early.
No such thing, Augie.
Yeah.
I was trying to get back to my Wisconsin roots. So what have we been cooking? I made a lasagna the other day. It was my birthday and we were stuck here, so I decided to make some fried chicken because I think that's delicious.
Yum. Well, there's your lasagna.
Oh yeah. What have we been drinking? I made this thing the past couple nights called the Blue Quarantine because I'm cleaning out the liquor cabinet of like all these weird alcohols we have, and it's like a slushy drink. Old fashions. Got to drink some old fashions. What's been cooking? Someone sent us a great gift of a package of meat from Pat LaFreda.
There's a hot dog.
So we made he sent hot dogs and steak, and I don't know. I'm just like worried that I'm going to put on the quarantine 10 or something like that because, we're just eating so well, I guess.
I think it's a quarantine 15, but
yeah, it's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for just 10,
Yeah. What are you hearing about reopening? Do you think it's going to go until June, like you said?
I think it's going to, my personal opinion, I think it's going to be even later. I just don't see it. I mean, they say New York's peaked, but I just don't think people are going to feel safe at first to just like jump back into a large crowd. You know, the Broadway seats are very tight together, things like that. You know, I think it's just going to be a lot longer and slower than people think. And I know people are itching to get back out there too.
Yeah, what are you planning in terms of like playing? Have you, within the community of music, what are you hearing in terms of like playing and shows?
I mean, sadly, not much. I know a lot of people's tours are canceled. I've had a lot of tours canceled. You know, I think a lot of musicians are just taking this time to, number one, just decompress and, you know, not worry about like that daily grind. And I think the positive that's going to come out of this is just we're going to have time to be creative. I know I'm working on a lot of projects and writing, and I think the one good thing that will come out of all this is, you know, you're just going to have an outpour of great art that's come out of this.
I think that's so cool. And it is a good time for musicians to work on some of those things that maybe they never get to. Speaking of that, do you have your trumpet nearby?
You know, it's a little early still, and I do live in an apartment building.
Oh.
So I don't want to be evicted this early.
Right,
you know?
and we don't want that either.
Do an air trumpet.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That was perfect. That's all we need is just a little fix. How is your family doing here in Milwaukee? And do you want to do a quick shout out?
I do. So everyone's doing great. My mom is going nuts because she's, you know, she's obviously a more at-risk age. So she's been quarantined and she's a social butterfly. Want to give a definite shout out to my sister Andrea and her husband Todd. River West Pizza. They are doing takeout. You can order from them. Please support your local businesses because I know lots of people are hurting during these crazy times. My other sister, Teresa, just had a new baby. Her husband is a police officer, so he's out there still and hoping that they're safe. And all my other brothers and sisters, my brother Robbie, Christina, go them!
Go them!
Yeah, I know people with kids are going nuts.
Yeah, it's so good to see you. Promise us that when you're in town and you're back, that you'll come and visit us on the yellow couch.
I will. I almost spray painted my couch and did this from there today, but my wife didn't dig it.
She wasn't on the same page with you. Huh?
You're not on board with that.
Well,
no,
she's
save
beautiful.
the marriage in those four walls. That comes first.
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, tell her that we said hello and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Stay well.
That sounds good. All right. Take care.
Bye, Augie.
Bye, Augie.